tuning in to another fun episode with your favorite Mouse Moms. Jennifer, that's me. Hello. Lori.
Hi.
And Juliana.
Hi.
If you've listened to us before, we're talking to you, our listener, then you know that these Mouse Moms love Epcot. We also, as travel planners, hear a lot of people saying that Epcot isn't for young people in their group and they're going to just skip it. Well, we are here to prove you wrong and to talk about why toddlers will love Epcot. But of course, if you're dealing with toddlers in general, you can't do anything until you have your Mouska cocktail. So, Juliana, what are we drinking today?
Right. Toddlers on vacation definitely require a Mouska cocktail, and you'll be up and at 'em early in the morning with toddlers. So you need to show them that they can drink their veggies.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
I guess. So you need to get yourself a Stowaway Mary from the refreshment port. This is a Bloody Mary that changes seasonally, but you can always find one with pimento stuffed olives, cherry tomato, and celery. And then the additional toppings rotate like jumbo shrimp, chicken nuggets, and smokehouse jerky. I don't know about the smokehouse jerky.
I don't know about the turkey. I don't like Bloody Marys in general, but I don't know about the turkey.
Last year during the art festival, so 2020's art festival, they had a pork belly and a piece of bacon.
That I could get behind.
That one was good.
Yeah, that one I could go behind. That one sounds good.
Yeah.
You can show them you're drinking your veggies. There's nothing. See,
absolutely.
Tomato.
It's mommy juice.
Mommy juice.
Right?
Mommy's drinking her veggies.
Yeah.
Mommy's drinking her veggies. Mommy also is a lot happier when she's had her vegetables in the morning.
Absolutely.
So
it's a good way to start a day.
Yeah, and it's right there in Future World too. So if you're coming in that way from the main gate, you can just pick that up. It's a good morning brunch beverage right there at the refreshment port. What'd you say?
It's brunch. There is food on it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's brunch.
You're going to be eating plenty. It's all good.
Absolutely.
All right.
Lori, do we have any news today?
No. So Epcot's too important, so we're skipping the news. We're going directly into the roundup.
All right.
So we're going. So, okay. So the three of us have chatted about Epcot a lot. Now we thought that we would focus more on Epcot for toddlers. As we said, we've heard a lot of different opinions when it comes to toddlers at Epcot. I've talked to a lot of people, us as being travel planners. I've talked to a lot of clients that are like, oh, well, Epcot's that's for adults. No, it's not. There's plenty of things for toddlers to do there. And we're going to go in and we're going to tell you exactly what you can do with the toddlers. So we're going to start with rides and attractions that toddlers will love. I'm going to have to start this one off. If you watch any of my lives when I was down at Disney for 3 months, we probably rode this one like 25, 30 times. Nemo and Friends. So who doesn't love Nemo? Kids love Nemo and Dory and all of his friends. So this ride is perfect for the little kids. Not too scary, has a fun little song at the end. And then my big plus with it is the aquarium when you walk out. So it's kind of like a ride, and then you get to see a huge aquarium the kids can see. They also hand out scavenger hunt booklets on the first floor.
I did not know about this.
I didn't know that either.
So this is a scavenger hunt for the aquarium part, for the seas?
For the aquarium, it shows on different pages, different types. They're all Dory's friends. So they're all different fish you have to go find. But then they give you stickers, and you put the sticker on when you go to find them.
And what toddler does not love stickers?
Exactly.
So even if they don't finish the scavenger hunt, like if your toddlers are like mine were when they were toddlers and have the attention span of a flea, like most toddlers, mine aren't going to finish that scavenger hunt. They're still not going to. They're 10 and 12. So stickers, man.
They're stickers, and we have a lot of those booklets. And I will say he played with them even afterwards. Like lots of times we didn't do them. I just took them home, and then he would play with them when we got home. So that's a huge plus. It has little
souvenir.
Little puzzles in that. There are dolphins back in that aquarium. So it's really cute. Right now, we're all missing Turtle Talk with Crush is also there. It is not open for COVID reasons, but it is an interactive animated film featuring Crush. And it's super funny, tells jokes, interacts with the audience. I love it.
I need to post. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I feel like I'm echoing. I need to post a video on our page of Crush chatting with me and my daughter when she was 5. It was it's so cute. Like, I mean, who doesn't? He was talking to a fellow parental unit. He said, I think I was more excited about it than my 5-year-old, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, but that's the thing. That's the cool thing about these things to do with toddlers is that as adults, we kind of love them too. So, you know what I mean? And definitely this is a great pavilion for kids. You can spend hours in it between the attraction and the aquarium. And then, you know, once COVID is over and the other things in this pavilion open up, you really can spend the entire day just in this pavilion.
It's a feast for the eyes for sure. And like you said, there's that educational bit at the end of the rides or in addition to the rides. And we've talked about this before, that this sort of thing is kind of a theme throughout Future World, where there's something to do and then things to see and learn and do right afterwards. Like one of the other toddler friendly things to do in Future World, which is what? Spaceship Earth? Not necessarily Mission Space, unless we have a really exciting. Don't get them confused.
No. Spaceship Earth is the golf ball, the big icon for Epcot, and that
bouncy
one,
ball.
The bouncy ball.
Yes,
according to
the toddler of the group. Yes,
the votes. Right.
But that one's a good one too. That one's another great example of, like, for the adults, for me, it's nostalgia. I have to ride on that one because that one I remember riding with my parents when I was there, you know, 30 years ago or whatever. So
it's educational too, not just for the toddlers. So for the older kids too, they're seeing the Renaissance, they're seeing Michelangelo, they're learning about the history and everything. For the toddler part of Spaceship Earth, they get to press the buttons on the screen.
That's right.
Things happen. It's super fun.
Yes. Right. And then they get to find themselves in a picture afterwards, which is fun. And then again, once COVID is over and all those fun little interactive other pushy button things open at the end of the ride, there's even more for you to do in that.
Right. Right. So. And if you've ever been on an elevator with a toddler, you know how important those buttons are.
Mm-hmm. Or I was a 6-year-old.
Yeah. When you're able to tell them, yes, go ahead, press whatever buttons you want.
Right? They're like, what?
You're like, what?
They look at you first with like one finger out. Like, are you for real?
This is a test.
And not my kids. My kids never did that. They just full hand touched everything.
Yes. Well, that's all right. So right next to the Living Seas, or the Seas with Nemo and Friends pavilion, you have the Land, which is my favorite pavilion. My favorite ride at Epcot, I think, is Living with the Land.
So can I be honest? I have never ridden Living with the Land, and I've never spent like any time in the land other than to ride Soarin'.
I'm gonna post. I did a little video from when I was there last week from that ride. I'm going to post it on our Facebook group. It's just so calming. And the voice that's telling you about agriculture is so relaxing.
Is it Sigourney Weaver, like in Finding Dory?
Almost.
This is Sigourney Weaver.
Yes,
we just
the male version of Sigourney Weaver. It absolutely is.
And it's Tom Selleck.
Could be.
I would die. Is it? I need someone, listener, let us know. It's nobody famous. Wasn't it Ellen for a while? Or when was it Ellen's Energy Adventure?
Yes.
That was a different ride.
This is a no-name dude who just has the most soothing voice. And he accompanies you through the pavilion.
I'm going to pretend
on your way to learn all about the flowers. And
you're really selling it, Jen.
I love this.
Sign me up. up for that one. No, but other
And
than the
shout
Screaming
out to
Boy,
my friend Bridget, who that was her job in her college program, was operating Living the
operating that
Land.
ride.
And so
Bridget, how did you stay awake? And is it Tom Selleck?
Did
And did you get to meet Tom Selleck?
Yeah.
you absolutely stay awake, because then it brings you through the different climates, and you have the arid desert.
And toddlers like
And-
this?
Okay.
Yes!
So no, I will say the toddler likes the
You're on
rainforest
a
when it gets
boat.
dark. And the
Yeah.
big thing the toddler likes is when you get to the vegetables and the fruit, because they start pointing, they see things. Bananas, there's pineapple, there's Mickey shape.
And hidden Mickeys. Yeah. They love it. I'm telling you.
All
As
right.
the
I'm
whole
going to have
family
to check
loves
it
it.
out.
No,
What
as
else in the land is good for toddlers?
We're going to talk about in restaurants when we talk about Garden Grill.
Oh.
That's in there. They don't really have any interactive parts in there. They have a quick service. They have Soarin'. I will say Living on the Land is a great option if you have part of your family going to Soarin'. Then the one adult takes the little toddler, goes to Living on the Land.
Because Soren's what, 44 inches? Maybe? We can look it up. But Soren has a height requirement, and little ones often are excluded, which is sad because I love it.
Yes.
But they're super strict about it. And so, yeah, I guess Living with the Land is a good in the
Soarin'
meantime.
is, what's 3 foot 4 inches? Somebody can
40 inches.
There we go. So yes, so Soren, I would say for like 2-3-year-olds, you're not quite out. Logan's at 36 inches, so he still has 4 more inches.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, we've been in Living Land. It's cute. There's an escalator. You can go up and down. Escalators are fun. There's lots of smushed pennies there.
That's true. In the
So,
land,
there's
yeah.
Living. It's mostly we do Living in the Land when the older people are doing Soren. I don't know if I would make a special trip in for Living on the Land by itself. Sorry, Jeff.
But it's a good bonus Mouska tip that if, because if you are at Epcot and you have part of your group that does not consist of toddlers who want to ride Soarin', and they should because it's my favorite.
Yep.
That's a good bonus Mouska tip.
It is. And the one they should not skip, which is right next door to it, is Figment.
Yes.
Right. This is the
Love
ultimate,
Figment.
in my opinion, toddler attraction. And grown-ups too.
And
Sorry.
grown-ups too. But no, even the queue line. So we've sat in longer queue lines, Logan and I, and just seeing Figment bounce from all the signs. If you look up, you'll see signs, and he bounces from all the signs. And that kept him entertained for like 15, 20 minutes. Where'd he go next? Where'd Figment go? Where'd he go next? So that's awesome.
Did your toddlers get a little scared on that ride though? There's that part where the lights go out and the train is really loud.
No.
I remember Lily getting a little bit scared from it, but very short-lived. Like it wasn't a meltdown or anything like that. But
Yeah,
just
I think
FYI.
Yeah, I think the first time he grabbed my hand, it was like, oh, what is this? But then I think immediately after the train, they start playing the Figment song. So it's like, yeah, we start playing Imagination.
Okay, we're okay.
Yeah, and then we're okay. And I will say one of the big things for this, which he still talks about, is when you go through Figment's imagination, everything's upside down.
Yes.
And to a toddler, that is amazing.
There's just a lot to look at.
Yes. I mean, the house is upside down, the table, he's taken a bathtub upside down. Like to toddlers, they're like, oh my God, how are they doing that? Oh my God, it's upside down. It's up there.
And there's never really a line for this one. So you can even go on it multiple times in a row as another option for if your big people are maybe running over to Mission Space or Test Track. This is a good one to just go on multiple times. And then right outside of this pavilion is where they have the jumping fountains.
Yes.
Which my toddlers always used to love that because they used to love to like jump and pretend to try to catch it in the air. So
yes,
a lot of cute stuff over there. They also have the Pixar shorts, which
that one depends on your child.
Yes, maybe not for toddlers, but my 6-year-old loves that. So a little bit older than toddlers, that's a good option too. It's just that's a good pavilion to go to for things to occupy you. And again, once COVID is over, at the end of that ride, they have a whole interactive section there where you can like
that's my favorite.
And yeah,
I love it. I love that part. That's the part
that
has stuck in my head over years and years and years. is the little interactive.
They have so many there too that are geared towards little kids, whether they're stepping on the little symbols and it plays the music, or they were like shooting stuff at Figment on the one section.
Moving their hands.
It's like the little kids section at a science museum, right?
Yes.
It's like taking your kids to one of those little places where they can, like a discovery place or whatever that they call it near you.
Yes.
It's so fun to watch them.
I was to say, it's really fun. It was sad to just walk through it because they're shutting it down for COVID, but it's a really fun.
They'll be back.
Yes, it'll be back, and regardless, even with it closed, the ride itself is awesome.
Yes, there's enough to do in that pavilion to keep you occupied even without that, but it sure will be nice when it comes back.
Yes, it will.
So in terms of rides,
yes, we have 2 more that I think are good. Of course, in Mexico, as an adult and you're going through and getting a margarita, you can stop and go on the Grand Fiesta Tour, which we call Donald's Boat.
Because don't toddlers just like inherently relate to and love Donald? Like,
you got the tantrums, you got right? Yeah, they should.
He's silly. He's getting into trouble, and who doesn't love that? And again, back to the Living with the Land ride. Who doesn't love a slow-moving boat ride when you're a kid? You're on a boat, like It's a Small World. All these rides that are these slow-moving boats, they're fantastic. So that's a good one. That's a good one for the whole family.
It's not boring for mom and dad or the adults because one, you've had your margarita, but you have to finish it before you get in line now.
Yeah.
And it's cute. It's entertaining for us too, though. There's like a bunch of Easter eggs in that one too, isn't there? Yes, no, am I imagining that?
No, there's some hidden Mickeys in there. Yeah, for sure.
There's some hidden features. And then you always have the big surprise at the end of whether Donald will be a cardboard or an animatronic.
Or just a sombrero on a plant. You never know.
They need to fix that.
It's like the oldest ride in Epcot. I swear. Maybe it might actually be the oldest ride in Epcot.
Probably. I keep hearing rumors about it being turned into Coco, which would be fantastic. But
I love me some Coco.
It's cute. They have some Coco features in there, like they've updated some of the skeletons for Coco and that, but it's very, very cute. So if we continue through the world, obviously the number one attraction for toddlers is Frozen Ever After. I mean, it is.
Yeah, even with that little drop there, I think there isn't a kid that I know that doesn't love it,
Anything with Olaf, and I am in.
Yeah, right? I would say mine was scared for a little bit of the snow monster. It took a couple more times and Daddy to come with us to get our fear over the snow monster, but it was not. It's one of those 5-second ones. Then you see Olaf, and we're singing and we're happy.
Sorry, I'm having microphone issues.
I'm watching your microphone.
I'm like trying to keep it from falling on my head. Sorry, everybody, for the distraction.
I feel like that might be fun.
You were saying?
I do love that attraction. And again, the queue is really cute because there are things that you can see and from the movie that you'll recognize. And usually Elsa and Anna and Olaf are out there greeting guests and everything. So that's cute. So this pavilion is a good one also that you're going to want to definitely carve out a good chunk of time to explore because there's a lot to see.
There is. And you can pick up a lovely snack right there at Norway. It's school bread. And they also now put a little chocolate Olaf on top of the school bread.
Oh. I didn't get one on my last trip because we were too busy eating everything else inside.
You didn't get a school bread? I'm shocked.
I know. Yeah, no, they have cute little Olafs now, little chocolate whatever thingies on top. It's super cute.
That is very cute.
School bread.
I like the school bread. I can't wait to go back. I cannot wait to go back. So what else? I think that's it for rides. Well, now let's just add some food. Ratatouille is going to be a great one for toddlers.
Yes.
This is going to be the, I don't know how to say it well in French, but pièce de résistance for the kids, right? Like this is going to be the one. I've ridden this ride. I've ridden this ride. If it's the same or even close, it's so fantastic and little.
It sounds like it's going to be the same as the one in Paris.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. Well, I can't say that fast. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's kind of like that,
which is a toddler favorite also. Totally. So this one is going to be up there.
I was going to say, I think they did announce there's no height limit on that one. So that one should be good to go. I think that one's just going to be amazing as well. So it's even going to add more to what we're saying that Epcot is good for toddlers.
So can we break from more of Epcot good for toddlers for 1 second? And I want to ask a little bit about strategy now, like with that being open and... Well, maybe we should wait till the end. So let's talk about that at the end, like strategy for how to attack Epcot with a toddler, because, during normal times when World Showcase opens later than Future World, sometimes you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute, I think.
Yeah. Maybe we'll cover that one at the end because that has stuff to do with activities too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So speaking of the school bread, we'll go into restaurants because I think there's, definite restaurants. First one we mentioned was Garden Grill. Garden Grill is family style restaurant. It rotates through Living on the Land. And of course you have Mickey and Pluto and Chip and Dale. I love this one, especially it's just, they have majority booths, which are fantastic for toddlers because they can roam around over there. So yeah, this is a great one.
And it's family style, right?
And it's family style, which is perfect.
I love family style.
Me too. I really do love it. Yes, absolutely. It's faster, so the toddler has less of a time to melt down while they're waiting for their food.
Buffets are hard with toddlers, right? Because you have to get up and get their food, and they want to come with you, and then there's crowd. But if someone's just bringing us a bunch of stuff from which to choose and putting it on the table, sign me up, and they'll bring you as much as you want.
Yeah.
So if your kid is only eating Mickey pancakes that day, then they can have 8 of them.
Yes.
And you don't have to get up once to get them.
Right.
No, I have to say that's one of the COVID silver linings is that some of my favorite restaurants are not buffets because I'm like, I don't want to have to get up with him and drag him across and he might knock over a plate. I'm like, just bring me the food.
So in normal times though, is Garden Grill buffet?
No.
No.
It's always family style. Yeah, that's what makes it a toddler gem.
Yes, it definitely is. The other one, on the other hand, that's good for kids. That one does have a buffet element to it.
Yes.
Right. For the smorgasbord.
For the smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. I feel like the Swedish chef.
You look like this. No, you don't.
I have hair.
That's true.
I mean, not much, but I had some.
Stop. So Akershus, which is in the Norway Pavilion.
Yes.
That one is a good one for kids, toddlers. That's more for your princess fan.
Yeah. I say all the princesses everywhere. That one is not currently open quite yet. They got to be opening that. I have to think that one's got to be opening up pretty soon because you got a huge princess part.
And they opened up Cinderella's Royal Table, and they're able to do that as a character experience, even though it's different than what it was before. So I imagine that this one, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably going to be open by the time October 1st rolls around, because October 1st is when Ratatouille is opening up.
Yes,
and I think that's going to be a big draw.
A good goal for them. And
this one will probably change from buffet to family style, which
is fine.
Keep going with that.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah, but that one, the buffet part is really only for your smorgasbord, like your salad bar, basically. Yeah. And then the rest of it is you just order from the menu. So that one is still good for toddlers.
Yes.
And we've mentioned many a time that this is our top pick for getting all the princesses in one shot. Yeah. We like this over Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
And then one that should be opening up hopefully soon, and again, I think before October 1st, it's Space 220, correct?
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
so
I
excited
forgot
to check
about
that one
that.
out.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about that because that sounds really exciting. And if you have a toddler that wants to be an astronaut, right? Or like, I mean, into
Plays
space.
with rocket ships.
I was going to say space in general. I just think it's going to be, Mission Space, the ride is more, older
for the
kids.
kids.
Not a toddler ride, right?
Not
right.
a toddler ride, but the restaurant's going to be right there. And we played outside for probably a half an hour in front of Mission Space while the older kids were going, because you have all the huge planets. You have all these cool things that you can walk around and see. And that's going to be right in front of Space 220. And I think Space 220 is going to be a huge draw for toddlers and for kids. And my husband wants to go. I'm like,
I want to go.
I think it's in all ages,
Yeah.
and especially now. So like when we were kids, Jen, and the whole space thing and the going, sending a teacher, trying to send a teacher to space and all that stuff, like space was such a big deal. And then it petered off, right? The space program wasn't. And now with this focus on space travel again and Elon Musk and everybody trying to get everyone into space, I think that imaginations are sparked again. And now's the right time for a restaurant like this. I think kids are going to love it.
Yes. So hoping this one was opening soon. This one's been delayed like
20 times.
Well, now is the time, Bobs.
Right.
Now's the time. Because I said kids are interested in space.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
It's time for a Bob's article, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. I don't know what the menu is going to be, but I think the whole premise is that it's going to be this immersive experience, like you're taking an elevator up into
better not
space.
be that freeze-dried ice cream.
I was going to say.
Remember that from the Smithsonian Institute?
Yes,
Washington,
or like
yeah.
whatever science museums you get.
Yeah.
Ugh,
No, thank you, Bob. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I was going to say, we pretty much just wrote your entire article for Dear Bob's.
Yes.
Open
Yes.
the restaurant, and
got
please
it.
do not include the following.
Please, Bob. Take
Please.
this under
That's a
advisement.
good one. Write that down.
Yeah. No freeze-dried ice cream.
Menu recommendations for the space.
Try,
And then we'll see how
please.
close we are.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Are there more restaurants?
No.
I mean, the fact is there are restaurants everywhere in Epcot. Like, even if you don't want to sit down, while we highly recommend Garden Grill and Akershoes, there's something for everyone, especially in the World Showcase. And now Jen has just discovered her favorite new snack that I think toddlers will love.
Oh my God, it was the most delicious thing. I dream about that. That is what my choice was that day, girls, by the way. It was school bread or it was my brioche ice cream sandwich. And I went
Lardisson de Glace?
Yes.
In France?
In France.
I casually mentioned it. One of the most recent podcasts. I never got to try it. Jen did.
Yeah.
You are welcome.
I owe you like a lot.
You're welcome.
From the bottom of my heart.
Can't wait to try. I cannot wait to go try it. So anyway, I think toddlers would like that. There's tons of stuff around the World Showcase.
So what is it exactly?
So it is a brioche, and you can choose your ice cream and your sauce. So I asked the cast member, well, what's your favorite? What's the most popular? So it was a coconut ice cream with a raspberry sauce, and then, so they slice the brioche in half. They stuff it with the ice cream and sauce. They put the top back on, and then they put it in a panini press and warm it. So you have the warm brioche and the cold ice cream.
Good.
It was so delicious. My kids got their snack first. I don't even remember what they got. Oh, they got another good one. They got the funnel cake with the special from the Flower and Garden, which was also delicious.
Another toddler favorite.
Yep.
But not there all the time. But funnel cake is there all the time. So they got that, and I said, no, guys, I'm saving myself. There's this thing that I want in France, and so of course we go to France. And they were like vultures, trying to pick off, like, are you gonna eat that part? You can eat that. Can I just have a bite? And their bites are like, so.
I was looking at the menu because the coconut raspberry does not sound fantastic to me, although I bet it was delicious.
Good.
But there was like a moose tracks and like, it didn't say like what the topping options were on the online menu, but there were 10 or 11 ice cream flavors.
There aren't as many toppings. I think it was like raspberry, chocolate, maybe caramel.
Perfect. Peanut butter
else.
and marshmallow. That's all I need. If there's a fluff, then I am on that right there.
I don't recall.
They need Bob's.
They do have that and peanut butter.
You need fluff on the menu.
I don't recall if they were, but it was delicious. And Toddlers, I mean, yeah. And it was not so messy because when it went through the panini press,
it will be when you give it to a toddler.
Yes, but it kind of sealed it almost.
That's awesome. I want one right now.
It was really good. I highly recommend it. But lots of snack options for everybody in the family, like sweet and savory. I mean, you could go and not have any meals reserved.
But you could probably get like a good 2, maybe 3 pavilions out of one of these ice cream sandwiches with a toddler. Like you could keep them occupied for a tour of 2 or 3 pavilions with one of these. Like
it was as big as my face. It was big.
Yeah. So it's definitely worth it.
Good. It was good. Highly recommend it. But what else are we going to do to keep these toddlers occupied as we do our activities around the World Showcase?
Well, we talked a lot about the activities for kids to do in Future World.
Yes.
And a lot of people think that beyond that, there's nothing in the World Showcase for the littles. Well, we've already said you can certainly give them donuts and ice cream and all that.
Occupy them with food.
That works very well.
And another good one that occupies them for a long time. You get those refillable popcorn buckets, and then you can refill your bucket for $2. Popcorn with a toddler takes forever for them to eat.
Anything little tiny that requires one up at a time. That takes a lot of time, guys. That's a great one.
But there are actually things for them to do in the World Showcase to keep them occupied. So tell us.
So we'll start with my favorite, which is festivals. So during the festivals and certain times of the year, they do have scavenger hunts. So right now they had, or I think the Easter egg's gone, but during Easter they had the Easter egg hunt, and they also have Spike the Bee hunt. I would say Spike the Bee one is probably an easier one for a toddler. They're more prominent, they're bigger, they're on ground level.
Very
ground level. That's the difference.
That one's super easy to find. Food and Wine usually does a Remy one. That one's hard. I'm not joking. It's hard.
Because they're small. They're not that big, right?
They're
little
small.
And they're not at ground level.
No, they put them all the way up and they hide them in the little part. It's hard.
That was the Easter egg one too. The Easter eggs were big.
The eggs are huge, yeah.
But they were all over in windows and on rooftops. So that was hard. Spike the Bee is definitely the best because it's definitely right at their eye level and they're very obvious.
If you get a kid that gets discouraged and they're hard and you can't find them, as long as you're not there the first week, because every time the festivals happen, they change locations of where they put the stuff in country to country. You can Google and find out where they are and then sort of direct your kid. Be like, oh, did you try to look over in that gift shop over there? And then they feel like they found it and they're super happy again. So you can sort of stave off that meltdown at the pass.
Again,
and cast members help with that. I mean, if you get stuck, I send my kids to go talk to a cast member. So the older ones, I'm like, you go ask them, and they usually give them hints. They usually give them clues.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So the toddler's like just holding on to the little map, and it comes with stickers.
And again, stickers.
Exactly.
Stickers
and a map. Perfect.
A tip too, if you find a nice cast member while you're getting your map, you can also just ask for the prize, and they usually give it to you. And then I stick it underneath the stroller, and we move on. And if they
don't have to go back,
and we don't have to go back, and then I can be like, "Oh yeah, you did a great job. Here's your prize."
Yeah, that's a good idea. Mouska tip, super bonus Mouska tip. Just get the prize at the beginning and hide it and give it to them yourself, so you don't have to go back and turn in your stickers. I like it.
Yes. So those are exclusive just to the festivals that happen all year, but there are
these
other
have a fee associated with them as well.
Yes.
You have to buy the map. The one that you mentioned before,
a small fee though, like $7.99.
Seven
What was
Because of the prize.
What was the scavenger hunt you mentioned before, though? That does not
The Seas with Nemo.
Does that one? That one you just
that
get.
one has no fee. That one you just get. They hand out the books right when you're getting off the Nemo ride.
Yeah.
So that one's free. These ones usually come at $7.99 for multiple kids, depending. Sometimes we just get one. I have to see what the prize is first. So I know for Spike the Bee, they were giving away 2 plates. Hence, if you have 2 children, just buy one. They each get a plate. So just check to see what the prize is, and then you can figure out how many you need to buy.
Another Mouska tip, you guys. We are killing it with the advice today. You heard it here first.
But there are other like scavenger hunts that you can do that are year round, including this Nemo, the Seas with Nemo one. But this is exclusive to the World Showcase, and that is those stations called the Kidcot stations.
Mm-hmm.
There are 11 of them because there are 11 countries in the World Showcase, and this one is they're doing it currently.
That's great.
They did not stop it because of COVID. They changed it a little bit. So you used to be able to go meet the cast members who were representatives of the countries that they were in, and they're no longer in Disney right now because of COVID. So you don't have that interaction necessarily anymore. And now they're just the passports and everything are just displayed on a big table, and you just it's kind of more self-directed and less cast member directed.
I was going to say I saw some cast members staying there. So it just depends. Obviously, they're not the country representatives, but they are there to kind of interact with the kids, obviously from a 6-foot distance. But we did see them there to interact. They have fun, different activities that they do there. I still saw a lot of people doing it. Obviously with some COVID changes. Yeah, a lot of people are still doing it. So
awesome.
We did it. So the way it works is it's basically they give you a passport, and you visit each Kidcot station in each of the 11 countries in the World Showcase, and you do a little activity or learn a little bit of something about the country. And then once you do that, they give you a stamp in your passport. So the first one that you go to, you actually get your passport, and they give it to you in like this little Ziploc baggie that has not been touched by anyone. And then in the next ones, you just get pages now to put into your passport that are pre-stamped, so that minimizes the interaction between people, which is kind of a really sad thing to think about, that you're minimizing interaction with humans, but it is what it is. So
hopefully not for too much longer.
Yeah, and it's very similar to Wilderness Explorer over at Animal Kingdom.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
So, and Wilderness Explorer is still, they're handing out the stickers. They're putting, that one's easier because the stickers go on the tables.
Yes.
And then you can come get the stickers, but they still have the cast member interaction there as well. So this one's very, very similar. I just think it's cool because they're learning about the different countries.
Right.
I really, really like that.
And like we said when we talked about Wilderness Explorers, the cast members are trained to know their audience. So if you roll up there with a toddler, they're going to talk to your toddler like your toddler's a toddler. So it's not going to be like above their heads, or they know who they're talking to, and they make it fun and educational for everybody when you do get the cast member.
And it gives the kids like a goal. You have 11 countries, so you need to do all 11 of these activities. And then your whole passport will be filled up, and you'll have this great souvenir at the end, and it's free.
And while one of the parents is going with them to there, the other parent can go get drinks.
Yes.
And then you continue on to the next country.
It's just about keeping them occupied and maybe letting them learn a little something too.
They're learning, they're having fun, and mom and dad are still having a great time.
And going back into those pavilions also is we always say that you're missing so much of Epcot if you're only seeing it from the perimeter, from around the lagoon. If you're not going into these pavilions, you're we ate lunch in Japan one of our days, and the koi ponds and the beautiful bonsai trees and just everything that's back there to spend some time and look. And even I know that It's a little bit harder to look in the shops with toddlers because they want to grab everything and buy everything or steal everything. But it's still, a great activity to do and walk around and look at, again, in Japan, they have this whole store where they sell candy from Japan. So it has the Japanese words on it and just very cool stuff. So
I would say the pavilions themselves, Italy is a really cool one. They have all the bridges.
So
the kids can go up and down the bridges. They can go back and walk through Italy. Canada's awesome. I don't know if I'd recommend the Canada show for toddlers. I might stay clear of that one, but the waterfall, and actually I had my kids go walk all the way down to the bottom of the waterfall and then walk around the path. So that one's great. Even France is cute to do and walk around and see things, especially, when Rat-a-Tat-a-Too opens up. That one's great. Keep them out of the perfume shop. I've made that mistake.
Did they break something?
Logan knocked one down. It did not break. It fell on the ground. They're very sturdy. I was very proud of the bottles.
They're very expensive.
Yes,
those
they
Guerlain
are.
bottles.
Yeah.
I went in to get one here and I was like, what?
Yeah, no, don't bring them in there. I did that one. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But there are other
That's
shops in France that you can go to. And then now also with the Flower and Garden Festival, which is through July 5th, just walking around in those pavilions to see the topiaries is awesome also.
I
It's a feast for the eyes.
Those are fun. The kids can see the characters. They relate to the characters. They're like, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, that's so-and-so. So, it's a cool one. And I think, some of the best times we had too was we took the toddler out of the stroller and we let him kind of run around some of the pavilions and run around the world. And it tired him out a bit. He thought it was cool. Morocco is one of my favorites because they have kind of tunnels and different areas to go through. And, they're doing some changes in Morocco right now that I'm not happy with, Bob. But
who's going to get mad at you, right? Like you're at Disney. This is where you let your toddler out of the stroller to run around.
Right.
Go for it. Yeah. Just don't let them into Guerlain in France. Don't
let them in there. Morocco is pretty safe. Their stores aren't open right now, but they have some, what is that one area where it's like the bathhouse that's there where it's like you have the entire square. That room's awesome for them.
Right. And they just can run and hear themselves echo. And
it's super cute. So yeah. And I think one of the bigger activities too, which I hope they don't change this, are the cavalcades. They come in Epcot. They seem to come a lot because they go around the World Showcase. So depending on how long it takes you to go around, you see multiple. And I love, plus they have really cool cars and Mickey and Minnie are in their fancy car and the princesses are going on a trolley cart.
You're not waiting in line to see them and it's easy. But I will say one of the things that I love about Epcot is the specific when they come back character meetings, because this is where, and in particular, the ones in the UK, because this is where you can meet Alice in Wonderland. Who is fantastic, and Mary Poppins.
They're there.
Awesome.
They're still there. They're not signing autographs anymore.
Right.
You can't congregate, but I have great pictures of Alice in Wonderland from when
she had she walked my kids around the garden looking for the white rabbit. It was just like, she's so cool. And Mary Poppins is so cool. And so that was what I want to bring back, like what I was asking about earlier about strategies with Epcot with toddlers now. Because it used to be Epcot opened at 9, the Future World opened at 9, and then World Showcase opened at 11, except of course for Frozen that opened with the park. So like my strategy was always to hit the rides in the front of the park and then make my way to the back of the park for the afternoon. That did get challenging though, because a lot of times the characters in the World Showcase stopped meeting at like between 2 and 4. A lot of them are like out from 11 to 4. So if you're spending your evenings in the World Showcase, it's harder to meet those characters. But now with everything opening at 11, what do you think? Like, what's a good way to hit that park? I'm starting to feel like World Showcase first and then Future World. But then again, toddlers need to have maybe it's better to do Future World first. Help me. Tell me what to
I was
do.
going to say, I found this one really, really tricky because my initial reaction is to hit the rides first and then I go in the showcase. But the problem is with it opening at 11, by the time you do all the rides, you're sitting at about 1 o'clock and now your toddler's cranky because the toddler wanted food.
Right.
And to me, the food was over in World Showcase. So I think if you properly feed your child lunch or
you mean like if you're a good mother,
and properly feed them lunch, then you can still do Future World first. And then my goal was to always hit World Showcase in the afternoon because I'm not a great mom and I bring Kindles and I give them to my toddler in the stroller when I go around the World Showcase.
I mean, whatever it takes.
It's quiet time and he does need that break from everything. And to me, I'm like, if you're going to take a break for an hour or so with the Kindle, then I'm going to walk around the world. So we did that a lot. We always felt if we were going to push them around in the stroller a lot, it should be the afternoon. Sometimes you get a nap out of them if you're one of the lucky people. But yeah, it's a tricky one now at the 11 o'clock though. We've gotten in trouble. We did it a couple of times and we got in trouble. Even the older kids were like, it's 1 o'clock and I'm starving.
I wonder if it's a good idea to start in Future World and then do a little, like maybe half of it and then do a loop around the World Showcase and then finish up. I like your point with toddlers though, about, walking around the World Showcase in a stroller, give them a snack or a Kindle or let them look at everything there is around them and just sort of chill because they need that.
Yes, they need to chill. So maybe if you do Future World and then you pop into like UK, Canada, grab some type of lunch snack and then you can head back and go to Future World. A lot of the toddler stuff in Future World is over by Living on the Land and Figment side. So if you just do that side, come up to UK and Canada, just make sure you get them food there.
Yeah, I think if you just have toddlers and younger kids, then doing it that way is great. So you do the seas and you do the land, you do Figment, and then you make your way out and do the World Showcase, and then you're not, you're not out there at 2 o'clock maybe for the first time. Yeah. And my family with the older kids, we did the opposite. We did the side with Test Track and everything first. And then we headed over to the World Showcase because my kids were way more interested in the food at the booths for the festival than they were in any of the rides, which they've done several times.
Yeah, because they were older. But then even if you have a mixed family, start, depending on who you want to please, start with the space for the little kids on the east, I can't remember, side of Future World.
Yeah.
Do Canada, UK, even France.
Yeah.
Come back around, do the bigger kids stuff, go back in at Mexico.
And go back in through Mexico. Yes.
Mind blown.
And Juliana got it figured out.
And I don't even have toddlers. I haven't had toddlers in a very long time.
I think definitely strategy will play a part. And I think that strategy is going to be different, whether you're going now or you're going, after some of these COVID restrictions are lifted, which is hopefully soon.
Yes.
So
I'm hopeful. Yeah, I'm really hopeful. It's coming.
Me too.
So
I think that's it for Toddlers and Epcot. We went through a lot with them. I mean, it's a really cool place for them, for sites, for everything. We mentioned a bunch of rides that I think, you can still do. And it's, some of them will become their favorites too. So I love Epcot.
And I know you mentioned letting them get out of the strollers to run around a little bit in the pavilions, but also during non-COVID times, I think it's good to mention that there are play areas over in Future World where they're actual playgrounds where they can fenced in playgrounds with benches for mom and dad to sit on where they can run around and play on things and touch things. Those, of course, are not open right now because of COVID, but once they do open up, that's a great place for you to let them get out, run around, let off some steam. So maybe they will nap in the stroller in the afternoon.
Right.
So.
I would say the best one is by Test Track. That play area by Test Track is amazing. So hopefully that can open up soon. But yeah, it's a really cool area they can go. and play. Right now during the Flower and Garden, they have one right before you get to Canada and UK. It's kind of a seating area, but I've seen a bunch of kids over there.
Yes.
And the
It's
kids
like a relaxation area. Yeah.
that toddlers have taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Darn toddlers taking
Right?
over my relaxation. So, so ultimately, right? Like, I think the big mouse tip of the day is don't skip Epcot. But
Yes, absolutely.
don't skip Epcot. I think I've even convinced myself to find a toddler and take one to Epcot because I'm just kidding. I've been there, done that. No, but seriously, it's worth it if you have time in your vacation to build in the day for Epcot. If you're going to get rid of one park, I don't think this is the one that you should.
Agreed.
And if you listen to us, we have another mouse tip, Jen.
We do. So we've talked a lot about strollers. Strollers are a must in this park. There is a lot of square acreage to cover, and that's a lot for tiny feet. So if you have a real young one and you're going to plan for walking around the World Showcase in the afternoon, and you are one of the lucky ones where you have a toddler who may fall asleep in that stroller, you're definitely going to want to bring that. And also, no mom shaming here. We talked about allowing our kids some screen time while they're in the stroller to kind of relax and decompress while we're relaxing and decompressing with our margaritas. It's definitely worth it to bring a stroller that they can feel comfortable in so that they can recharge and relax and have a good afternoon also.
Yes.
It's
That's
vacation. Yay. Awesome. So thank you so much for spending another episode with us. Let us hear stories about your toddlers in Epcot. Good, bad, ugly. Awesome. I'm sure most of them are awesome. Let us know. Share with us. We love to hear from you. And for the latest news out of Disney, don't forget to visit our blog at mousegamoms with an S, blog.com, and join our group over on Facebook. It's Disney Planning and Chat by Mousegamoms. Thank you.